Okay guys, when you adding two fractions, this is what you need to know. I'm just gonna do an example so you can see what I'm talking about. It's easier to do an example so you're gonna just see it instead of talking about it. Okay, let's say for example I have two fractions, which is 1/3 and 1/6, and I want to add these two fractions together and make it one fraction. So how do I do that? The first step is I need to know, first of all, in a fraction, the top part called the numerator and the bottom is called the denominator. So it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna call them top bottom so everyone can understand. Like, it's easier, top bottom instead of denominator. So that's a fancy word for saying that's the bottom part of the fraction. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to find out in these two numbers right here, the two bottom numbers, I'm going to look at the biggest number and I'm gonna think myself, is the smallest number a multiple of the biggest number? What I mean by that is, can I multiply the smallest number by another number to give me the biggest number? In this case, what you can say? We can say yes, because if we multiply 3 by 2, that's clearly gonna give us 6, right? Okay, I know you got that. Okay, so now if we can multiply one of the denominator or the bottom by number and get the biggest number, we can say that we can keep the biggest number in our result. So what we do from there, we said this number, what number can I multiply by this number, the smallest number, to give me 6? So like I said, we clearly see that when we multiply 3 by 2, we got 6. So we keep this 2. Okay, so we say 6 divided by 3, that gives us 2, or 2 times 3 is 6. So we multiply this 2 by the numerator, the top part of the 3. So 2 times 1 is 2. I have a plus here. Okay, so for this part I say 6 divided by 6 is 1. So this 1 I multiply it by 1, so it's still 1. Okay, now I'm just gonna add the numbers and keep the denominator or the bottom part. So I said 2 plus 1 is 3, and I keep the 6. That will be our result for adding these two fractions. Now there is one more step we can do. We can simplify the fraction. Even though I didn't do a video yet about simplification, I'm gonna do it. I don't know, today or tomorrow. I'm gonna post a video about how to simplify fraction. So for this fraction right here, this one is easy because earlier we see that if we multiply 3 by 2, we're gonna get 6. We clear about that? So now what we can do is, because 3 is a multiple of 6, we can multiply 3 by 2 to get 6. So we can simplify by divided by 3 the top and divided by 3 on the bottom. So let me tell you this. When you divide the top by 3, you divide the bottom by 3, you don't do nothing to the fraction. You just simplify it. The answer is gonna give you the same thing as if you divide 3 by 6. So that's gonna give us right here, if we wanna go further with the fraction. So I know some person just like, they would like you to simplify it, and some instructor they don't really mind about it. They don't mind. So for this one right here, we would say 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this is a more simplified way of writing 3 over 6. if you want to see if that's true, let me do something. You can do this division and you do this division, you should get the same answer. If it's not the same answer, you can say that your simplification is not right. Okay, now let me show you. Three divided by 6. Okay, so when I have 3 divided by 6, what I'm looking for is how many 6 is in 3. So we can see clearly that 6 is bigger than 3. So if 6 is bigger than 3, what we can do is we add a 0 on top right here, and we add a 0 right here, and we put a period. So now we have 30 divided by 6. Now 30 is bigger than 6. Now we can process with our division and saying, how many 6 is in 30? So we can go to the table and we can see that 5 times 6 is 30. But if you don't know how to do it, you can put 30 bar, like whatever easier for you to do it. You can put 30 bar and you keep canceling 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you said 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. And you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is 5. So now it says 5 times 6 is 30. So minus 30. And that gives us a 0. 0.5. Good. Okay, so we see that 3/6 gives us 0.5. We got that point right here. So now we're gonna do 1 over 2. So 1 over 2. Again, 1 is smaller than 2. So I just add a 0 on top and add a 0 right here. And I said, how many 2 is in 10? If I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So I can say that's 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, and 5, 2. So that's 5 right here. 0.5. So 1/2 gives us 0.5. And also 3/6 give us 0.5. That's make our simplification good. So the fraction, they both is equal to each other. But like I said, some instructor you can leave it like this, 3/6. But this 1/2 is like a more simplified way to say it. Okay. So this is for addition. If you guys have comments or questions and stuff, you can just ask me. Just comment below the video and just ask any question and I'll try my best to answer as much as I can. Okay, thank you. So now let's do for subtraction. We're gonna do the same one, the same problem for subtraction. So it's the same process as addition. The only thing is the sign right here. So I say subtraction. Let me say fraction operation. So I said addition and subtraction are done the same way. The same way. Only the sign changes. So for addition and subtraction, we do it the same way, except you change the sign. That's it. Only the sign. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So if I have 1/3 minus 1/6, I'm just gonna keep the biggest denominator because 3 is a multiple of 6, so I can keep 6 as my denominator. Okay, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Minus, minus. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So that's going to give me 2 minus 1 is 1. And 6 stays 6. That's it. Okay. I'm going to do another example just to make sure that you guys understand. So I'm going to do 1/5. Let me do 2/5 instead. I'm not gonna keep saying 1, 1, 1. So plus 3, 7. Okay, in this problem right here, we can see that 6 was a multiple of 3. I could multiply 3 by a number to get 6, which was 2. But in this problem, we can't multiply 5 by any number to get 7. We cannot. Like a whole number, a natural number. We can't multiply 5 by a number unless it's a decimal to get 7. So because of that, what we said is we can multiply 5 by 7 to make it the denominator. We said 5 times 7, that's 35. So now we say 35 divided by 5, that's 7. So 7 times 2, that's 14. Plus, plus. So I say 35 divided by 7 is 5. 5 times 3, that's 15. Okay, you see how I did it? Okay, there is a way to remember how to do it. You do this sign right here. This sign right here. What is this sign telling you? This number is gonna multiply by this number and stay here. This number gonna multiply by this number. You see the arrow going like this, like that. The arrow going like that. And these two connected together, which meaning the denominator, you're gonna multiply this number by this. If you follow this line, this go there. So you multiply this 2, 35. You multiply this 2, 15. You multiply this 2, 14. Easy. You just do that. This. That's all you do. So I said 2 times 7 is 14, plus 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 5 times 7 is 35. Easy. Okay, so now we said 14 plus 15, that's 29, divided by 35. Boom. It's done, guys. Easy. Okay, so let me erase this. And for the last one I did though, you could do the same thing if it was a multiplication. So it would be, instead of plus, the sign plus would be minus. So it was 2/5 plus 3/7. That gives us this sign. So that's 14 plus 15, 35. 5 times 7, 35. So if it was a minus y here, we would do the same sign and put a minus y here instead of plus. So we have 14 minus 15, that would give us minus 14 minus 15 is minus 1 divided by 35. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, you can see that addition and subtraction are done the same way. Only the sign changes. The only thing that changed is the sign of the operation for addition and subtraction.